How you doing, man?
Good. Very excited.
Very
excited.
Excited. We are pumped. We are live for Stadium Drive, and finally, dude. You believe this shit? If you've been watching this show, longtime viewers, you know our end game, our fucking goal upon goals is Mike McCarthy.
Big Mac. Love him.
Big Mac on the show tonight.
We are
fucking A, dude.
Fucking
A.
The live has never been live, and we are so proud to bring you through great connections. Thank you, everybody who's involved. We have arranged with Mike, post-trans victory, everything, to get down and live with him. One question live via satellite.
Okay.
Is he? Do we have him?
Okay. All right.
Okay, he's on. He's ready. He's on.
Okay.
Mike, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure. We love you, seriously, so much. Everything you've done since you've been here.
Longest coach in Packers history.
Yes, it is. It is just amazing. And you know, the one question we want to ask:
when we have you on for a longer interview, is there any special requests for the pizza that we have when we interview you?
I'm trying to think of a simplistic answer. No carrots.
You got it.
Yes.
No problem, dude. Seriously, consider it done.
Thank you very much, Coach McCarthy. We look forward to our longer interview.
And we look forward to bringing that interview to you, the fans here, live from Stadium Drive. I am Tommy Burns.
I am Matty Day. Thank you for tuning in once again. Our faithful following. You guys are the best. We have a lot to talk about because we're 5-0, man.
Packers team.
Packers.
I had the pleasure of going to the game myself with my pa. Thank you, Pa. And great fun game. I think, was it the first time we had the flyover this game?
I heard it. From.
I don't know if we had one this year. Ram faithful, not exactly heavily present.
No,
I wasn't. I mean, you kind of had to squint your eyes around to look a little bit for the Rams fans, but you know, it's been an up and down year.
Any classic Rams jerseys in attendance?
I did see, just the old school, the classic kind of, not the navy and gold, but the yellow and straight blue. I mean, is that how you describe it? I couldn't decipher if I saw like some LA Rams. Again, I just didn't see that many, so I don't know if I saw any LA Rams, but we might soon. Who knows about all that? We won't get into that. But
speaking of LA, so we more on that later.
But we won.
We did win. We sure did win, and part of the reason
Why
we
did
did
we
it,
win?
we won because of the defense. Go fucking figure, man. Go figure. The defense.
Yep.
Dang. We talked about how it was going to be a defensive showdown, and Packers defense holding the Rams to 10 points.
Yes,
That's a combined 13 points allowed in the last 2 games.
Standout effort. I mean, you saw it all around again. It wasn't, it's not one big thing. It's everybody contributing, everybody getting their time a little in. 4 INTs. You can't ask for much more. I mean, the pressure that allowed those to happen, and then just the sight and presence of mind. Rollins able to haul it in, and getting his and showing exactly what kind of the scout was for. Him being able to kind of, a hands guy, an awareness guy, the basketball background, everything. I mean, it was just that's a pleasure to see it. And those turnovers negating our own turnovers. The turnover battle, it goes both ways. If you can beat one, beat out the other. Even though we both had a lot, one had 4, one had 3, and
that's a lot of.
That's the way the
ball
cookie tears.
insecurity.
Yeah.
Ball insecurity. But it favored the green and gold, and Clay Matthews all up in the backfield. It was wonderful pressure.
Him and everybody else, like, watching just from around the game. First of all, Raji is very flexible. I'm sure some of you saw his yoga pregame that he's doing with the breathing apparatus and everything, regardless of his groin injury. During commercial breaks, he's just real limber. Like, he's kind of like...
Well, we saw, 2010.
Yeah. If he can kind of, he can just, like, the thing where you lay down and your knees are completely, and you're laying on your back with your knees bent, and just some of the other things. Like
Child's pose.
Dude just moving. I mean, I'll talk about his quick feet, but, dude, so that's why I'm not too worried about this groin injury coming in here. I just think he can move quite a bit and just kind of get, just get kind of...
Shoulder doesn't hurt so much.
Face does. His groin does.
But what about the rest of the D line, man? I mean, because BJ went out, and that was really when our run defense kind of went down.
Yeah, we saw some struggles, and you had Perry go out, and Gurley had some success. Which one more thing about Perry going out, I just as I said, everybody's got his. Even J. Roan has got his and everything.
Yeah.
It's, now is the time. Just let's Mike. Now is your time to kind of step in. I saw you getting your deep.
Mike
Neal saw you getting your deep muscle stimulator treatment, and let's just take that as the next step to really kind of fill the void.
What is deep muscle stimulation? Is that where they like?
I thought it sounded on the video. You could hear it, but
was it dubstep? It's a very stimulating form of music. They just put
a little bit, yeah. It sounded like a tattoo machine, except kind of like it was breaking, like it was just kind of like
That's dubstep.
And I believe it was he showed him on camera. It was his man Tito. His man Tito was giving him the deep muscle stimulator, and
here, locally.
It has to be. It was like alive. It was right after the Rams game. It was just just like how you doing, fans? Getting ready for it. Just getting my DSM. So I looked up DSM, and it's the deep muscle stimulator, and I guess it makes sense. Albert Pujols uses it, who I have mixed feelings about, but Mike Neal was, Mike Neal was getting. But Mike, let's kind of take this
you're
next
calling
step.
for Mike Neal to get it.
That's who
All
I'm
right.
gonna have my eye on. Yeah,
All right.
that's who. It's your time to shine.
Time is now.
That's your team is helping you out. You can step in and fill that void. But
otherwise, I mean, D line up front wound up really getting gashed, man. That was our. I mean, that game and
that was
the Bears game,
caveat.
the first game of the
That's
season, man.
what I thought of.
That's a couple poor showings for run defense. I mean, that's
both wins, but they rack up a lot of yards, which is are you like are you like bend don't break?
Yeah.
They
Is this rhetorical or you're asking me? Because I don't know. I'm happy with this defense, though. I'll take bend don't break. And this was just one of those fucking games, man, where somehow, scrappy victory, as Mike McCarthy put it. They scrapped their way there, but it wasn't as if, talk about the run game. Packers really could not get theirs going.
We had some struggles again on ours. I mean,
so do you think? I mean, does Eddie look like himself
now? Is it Eddie's ankle injury? Maybe he's thinking about that or holding him back a little bit. But I also think if he steps him out there to run, it was kind of. Our lack of success in the run game is Jordy's fault. Okay, Aaron said it himself. I mean, he didn't really say Jordy's name, I guess, but he basically said it himself. What he kind of compared to his Wednesday press conference was they had the opposite problem in 2011 when we had no ground game and we were an extreme air attack. It was 2 safeties deep, and we didn't have a run game to exploit that, but they were playing us to the passing game and to our deep threats. Now with Jordy gone and Devontae injured and no great white hypes, which we'll touch on. But we're not able to get outside the numbers and stretch the field. And as he said, they got all the guys stacked in the box, so it's nothing that we can kind of exploit as opposed to if we were airing it out all the time and they were having to cover all these guys and commit 2 safeties and play some zone and everything, then we would have more running alleys to get. And you could, again, blame it on an ankle injury or the Packers' offensive line struggles and some of the injuries there and everything. But, I think one hand feeds the other.
I mean, let's talk about the receivers. I mean, it's not like there aren't other receivers who could potentially replace it. Randall is battling a shoulder injury. James Jones with a hamstring. Did you hear Mike's thing?
The 60s and the 90s thing?
That was so hard.
That was so hard. That was super hard.
I loved it.
Just as a man.
As a man,
Just
respect that.
he could play in the 60s.
90s.
In the 90s, which just that he chose those 2
I know.
decades. Super sweet, So hard.
Hard as fuck.
Hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And
love
James
that.
is just like, oh my God, thanks for coming. He's already done way more than you can ask, so it's not like, James, you're not giving us enough.
Yeah.
And,
the fucking layout touchdown was just outrageous. I thought that was someone else, not the oldest receiver on the team, but that was fucking so athletic, man. That was crazy. Real cool. So, I mean, there are other dudes, but that deep threat is not there, and a lot of Packers fans continue to clamor for the likes
it
of...
should surely be Jeff Janis. I mean,
Janis,
like, he's like a bigger, stronger Jordy. Like, throw it to Janis.
Oh, my God. Jeff Janis. Really, dude? That ball, that fucking wonderful Tim Massey punt, and this was not like a put-away game at this point. Wonderful punt from Tim Massey. Fucking falling on like the 1 yard line, and Jeff Janis, who's just gunning it as a gunner, and he gunned that ball into the end zone, and that was dumb. That was you
nice.
had it, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was starting to come around. I've been just kind of like, he's behind my own personal 8 ball because of how much like Twitter and Ask Vic folk are just like loving
Pining for this
dude. They want it hard.
The great white hype.
So, man, I don't know. What's going on? What's going on, Jeff Janis? What's going on, Aberdarius?
Yeah. I mean, if you would have showed up, you can. I mean,
this is their opportunity. Fucking
the door is wide open.
Yeah.
You had to sign James Jones. You had to do everything. If these guys would have earned Aaron's trust or put themselves in a position or do something, then fucking do it.
Do it. What's going on?
That's all I'm saying.
Saying?
Wait, I just gotta do my.
5-0 is damn good.
First world problems. It was
First place problems.
First place problems.
Next up,
San Diego Superchargers.
the Bolts. More like the Dolts. For real though, you got a team. You got a team that is 3rd in offensive yards, 2nd in passing yards, and 1st in linebackers who've orchestrated dead girlfriend hoaxes.
Oh! Wow.
There's a lot of talent on that team, though, man.
Interesting, very interesting team and makeup and everything else. What's going on there in San Diego? Because, like you said, I mean, they're 2nd in passing. It's like 24th in rushing or something. So it's primarily an air attack team.
26th.
26th. Phillip Rivers, much maligned, throwing motion questionable, but he gets it done. But it's
30 on the Wonderlick.
Very smart, and that's what doesn't give him much credit, because I think one of his offensive coaches came in and just like, yes, I knew he had the physical talent, but one of the things I didn't anticipate was how smart this guy is, and his pre-snap reads, like, it gets a lot of press, and you may not feel it around here because it's, the San Diego press, at least the newspaper, is pretty terrible, but you just, he really does do a lot of reads and pre-snap and understanding, and makes a lot of kids. But he's a Catholic. He's a big Catholic.
Who gave him mega props was Tremont Williams. After there was a shootout earlier this season,
yeah.
and Tremont basically said he knew exactly what we were doing.
Yeah, yep.
So there.
Which I guess you need to, because he is behind. We are facing another makeshift kind of like a little bit of paper mache here, a little bit of clay here, maybe some wire here of an offensive line. Silt. Yes, it's I guess credit to him and what he's doing. When you think about the matchup of what we've seen from our defense coming up against this offense. I mean, let me just quick indulge me. Let me just quick read this last from the San Diego Union Tribune.
I'm gonna drink
from this last game. Please do. Everybody else, have a beer, enjoy this, because it's kind of...
We'd love to tell you what's in these.
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Chris Hairston, this is about the San Diego offensive line. Chris Hairston, starting his 2nd straight game at left tackle for the concussed King Dunlap, exited in the 2nd quarter with an ankle injury, which moved Kenny Wiggins to right tackle, with Joe's Barksdale switching tackle spots. Wiggins was starting at left guard for the injured Orlando Franklin. So who replaced Wiggins? Chris Watt. Watt was activated before the game after missing nearly 2 full games with a groin injury. Left guard was Watt's main position at Notre Dame, but he spent most of training camp and all of the preseason at center, where all of his snaps were in games 1, 2, and 3. When Watt departed the second half with a head injury, a Chargers newcomer, J.D. Walton, replaced him. The center, for the second game in a row, was Trevor Robinson. Now I ask you, which cup is the ball under?
What the fuck is going on? That's their offensive line?
So you have that going on with a extremely capable, talented, physically and mentally quarterback. But what does that mean? What are we, what
Can they protect? There are a ton of weapons, man, but can he get?
Because it's not just Phillip Rivers. They have some offensive weapons.
Right. Well, I mean, but that offensive line is not going to be gelling. They're not going to be able to get good rhythm. Their run game with Melvin Gordon.
At an away game.
Yeah, that too.
And,
Melvin Gordon, 15th overall pick, something like
what
that.
What college did he go to?
Scanny. Danny Woodhead, too. Fun player to watch. Hopefully not against us, but those guys have not been able to get much going, understandably, behind a makeshift, piecemeal Kentucky Fried Chicken combo offensive line.
Yeah.
But should that line hold up, there are plenty of people to catch passes. You've got the likes of Antonio Gates.
Back after suspension.
Going off
and
last
he
week.
all intensities, and according to Mike and everything from the film, he's still
Same
Antonio
guy.
Gates.
Yeah. Keenan Allen. There are players. Malcolm Floyd.
Malcolm Floyd.
Ah.
You've been in the bar business.
You've been in the bar business. Oh, that's fucking great. So there are people to catch that ball, and fucking on special teams, they got a fucking kicker whose last name is phonetically the same as this fucking stadium, man.
Yes.
Don't try to tell me that there isn't fucking players on San Diego.
There is.
This is a 2-3 team, yes, but they are nipping at the heels in their division. They are chasing a 5-0 Broncos team who has just kind of lucked their way to some victories, and that luck may run out. They are tied with a Kansas City team who just lost Jamal Charles for the season. They got an opportunity here, people. This is not going to be an easy game.
Speaking of that division, one iota of foreshadowing. As we've talked about, who are we going to face that has a really stellar, standout offensive line? And we said, oh, the Cowboys do. Cardinals, they have a pretty good offensive line. Reggie McKenzie has apparently taken the success of what has happened and what he saw in his years at Lambeau, and according to Pro Football Focus, I think you have a from previous to or coming into after week 4, coming into week 5, ranked the Oakland Raiders offensive line as 4th, 5th, or 6th. I'd have to look at my notes.
Man. Are you serious?
It was kind of something that was not expected, but Oakland Raiders offensive line, if they stay healthy, have been stellar.
Wow.
We can move on to another topic, but I just wanted to throw that out there because
I had no idea.
Because I wanted to look at the rankings, and it's Oakland is right there, and they've been playing stellar. So it's put them on the map for someone that can protect Derek Carr.
That's fucked up. I had no idea. What I learned is in 2011, the Packers played the Chargers. I learned that. So that's the last time that we played them. We have
a lot of guys that
5-0.
haven't played these San Diego Chargers. Or how does he pronounce San Diego? Because he always mispronounces city names. So like San Diego, or I don't know.
I mean, well, if you watched Mike McCarthy's presser, obviously he was saying this isn't a week where they have to watch a lot of film. This is a team that they play fairly off.
Just kidding. This is an uncommon opponent. It's uncommon. It's an uncommon opponent.
So this is fun, man. This is just like one of those weird random duck pluck things at the fair, man. You just don't know what you're gonna get.
Do that. I think I saw it in Julius's press conference this Wednesday. He's just like, he was kind of telling, he's just like, been watching a lot of film. It's just like, I'm sure you really enjoyed those film sessions, Julius. That's
15 years of watching film, like,
cue it up.
Yeah.
So we got a battle, man. We got something going on here.
It is.
It was fun. It was fun to dig into the press for this one though, because
it is.
I listened to Aaron Rodgers' interview with the San Diego Press, and it was cool, man. He was just kind of waxing nostalgic. I guess he lived in San Diego for a couple of off seasons, and I gotta say, it made me really, really miss Tuesdays with Aaron, man. Fuck, we didn't know how good we had it, man.
That little gem, yeah. Uncut, unfiltered. He was relaxed. He was comfortable.
He was what? Oh. Thanks, Packers fans, for not doing that this year, and coworkers. Anyway.
And the other little connection with him and Phillip, he's just like, do you have any connection with Phillip Rivers? I brought up the kids thing, and it's kind of known dude has a lot of kids. He just basically says, just like, Phillip Rivers is busy. I understand he's got a lot of kids. We were at the same golf course for a little while, country club, and I never saw him out there. And I golf a lot. Never really saw him out there, so it's a little in the life of.
Well, knock back to our buddy Modi, who is a proud Kansas City Chiefs fan. They fucking hate Phil Rivers, man. They fucking hate that dude by all accounts, man.
I bet.
Like what a good division rival, man. Just a fucking hothead who. Yeah.
Well, you remember some of the hate between Rivers and Cutler back when Cutler was with
that's
Denver?
rich. That's rich, man.
Just like talking shit to each other on the sidelines, and Rivers isn't someone who's easily liked, I guess. I mean, he's just he's a real fiery guy.
Oh, dude, big time. Do you think he's got what it takes to come in and steal one? Packers snoozing, trying to get to the bye.
He might, but I don't know if the rest of the team does.
Yeah. Well, Rodgers also praised. I mean, there's some playmakers on that San Diego defense. You've got Eric Kendricks. You've got Brandon Flowers.
Who I've heard. I mean, their other cornerback. Who's was that the?
Flowers came from the Chiefs.
Okay. Again, in just reading some of the San Diego periphery media, it's they're in spots sometimes, but they miss big sometimes. It's just kind of it's a really hit or miss. I mean, they're just not. They have some athletic players that can cover the field and go sideline to sideline, everything, but they're just not. They haven't put it all together yet. Is that the impression you got, or what did you get? I mean, we spent a lot of time on the San Diego offense. What was your feeling? Just, I mean, from ancillary.
I couldn't find much.
And when
about
you don't talk about them a lot, you get the feeling that maybe that's not something they're.
Mike McCarthy praised them as a balanced team.
Is that McCarthy speak?
God damn it! One time in a fucking presser, just like get asked about a player, and just or like a coach,
he's terrible.
And just say.
Think he's overrated.
Like, just anything.
We'll ask him about that over the pizza.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, I've waited out. I've put on the blindfold and just kind of waited out. And I still think the Packers are gonna win. I think I do not want them to play B.J. Raji.
We have been successful.
He did not practice today, and this is a 26th ranked running defense, running offense that we're going up against. So rest him, rest the man. Fucking, I don't know. It's weird, man. I was so shocked to see Bulaga out there. I really was. I really didn't think they were gonna do it, man. I thought they were gonna just chill, but Mike is a kind of aggressive coach when it comes to the health of the players.
When he was asked about that, does the bye week play into any of that? And he's just like, healthy is healthy, not healthy is not healthy. We don't let the influence base it. Which again is that McCarthy speak. But I have
speaking of McCarthy speak, God bless you, Jason Wilde, because he asked him like. You've spoken before about being on the high side of caution,
and he totally caught him.
Yeah,
like,
he absolutely.
Well, I have said that.
I have used that exact term before in press conferences.
Yeah, you fucking have, Mike. Bless your heart.
I got kind of predictions for playing. Devontae out, Perry out, Lang in. Raji in for limited snaps.
Ooh.
Morgan
practiced.
That's what I'm still wary of. Morgan out because of the stellar play, and he is going to let the high side of caution dictate him. and give him that extra little bit of time, and Morgan out.
God, that was fucking funny. He Wildy just aced that question, and
Yeah.
Mike just had to. That was
to eat
good.
a little bit.
Oh man, totally.
And you saw him
the
shoot
way,
over,
the way
he's
he said it was like,
"Fuck you, Wildy."
I've used that about injuries, and it's like, Mike, you just got asked about injuries. Oh man, I think I could see that going. You think they don't play Burnett, or you think they do a little?
It's been
Poquito.
so long. Because with the Devontae thing, he's all like, I pushed it too hard for Chiefs. So, and then the way he was talking, just like, we'll see how it goes this week, and it may be next week. When you throw out the caveat, like, it might be this, like, Lang's just like, I'm hoping to play this week, like, absolutely.
Yeah,
You
Lang seems to be all in.
Yeah.
And even if he didn't, man, Josh Walker did damn good work.
After, it took him a little while to warm up, but he was right there. So, Burnett's a wild card, I guess. But I think, why not, with the stellar play that we've seen.
It is not because I don't respect what San Diego has going on, but what else is Mike gonna say? I mean, what he's not gonna say, yeah, we're letting fear dictate our decisions.
Yeah.
That ain't Mike. No way.
PM.
PM.
Pittsburgh
Oh, damn. Pittsburgh smokescreen. So, what'll it be, man? Do the Pack get to the bye undefeated?
We win. The question marks all over on the side of the defense and the offensive line of San Diego and at home. I'm going to put this success on us. Let's do. San Diego will score some points. Whittle it down. No turnovers for us. Two turnovers for San Diego.
That is their season average, 2 a game.
Because we will 3 pick sixes for Rivers in the last 5 games. We will get into a 30-21.
Damn, dude. Damn. I knew what I was going to say before the fucking show. That's why I wanted you to go first. 30-23. They get a fucking garbage touchdown, but man, the Pack fairly they roll. They get into the bye. And then all fucking bets are off. God, I can't wait to preview that Denver game when this Packers team is 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
We predict another win. We are undefeated picking outcomes this season. Funny how that happens. Funny how the Packers are undefeated.
Can I give my little historical teaser now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked between us a little bit about how, like, back in that Chiefs game, it was kind of like a reunion back in Lambeau. You had, after Holmgren inducted Favre into the Hall of Fame, you had Reed on the coach for the Chiefs, and Gruden up in the booth, and Mariucci on NFL Network, and even the little Mike McCarthy being under Ray Rhodes for his 1 year and his year for that, and Dick Duran is on a milk carton and everything else like that. And it's all like, it's all under the Holmgren coaching tree. And then, you look back at Holmgren, and it's he was part of the Bill Walsh, the West Coast offense. And Bill Walsh did not come up with the West Coast offense in a dream, contrary to what some people may believe. He got it from his own road, and it was primarily under we love to rag on him, rest in peace, but Al Davis. Al Davis, when he was there in Oakland with the vertical passing attack and what he was able to do, throwing the ball down the field, and it wasn't just airing it out, even though at the end, Al Davis, I just want athletes, big, fast, strong, run on the field. I don't give a shit about offensive line
Darius Howard
or anything, Jamarcus Russell and everything else like that. He did have a very solid plan, and when he had the coaches and the players, the Mad Bomber and Kenny Stabler and everything, Al Davis did a lot, and he had Bill Walsh under him, and Bill Walsh himself talked about it, and you can search articles about Bill Walsh talking about his time there. Bill Walsh eventually went to Cincinnati under Paul Brown, and that's when he really, out of actually necessity, honed his West Coast, the shorter, higher completion percentage passes, because he had a accurate but not strong armed quarterback. That's kind of what he had to do. So the West Coast offense kind of came out of that situation. But Bill Walsh, so he got that under Al Davis. Where Al Davis got that from was from Sid Gilman. Sid Gilman, you may remember, was mentioned as one of the 4 coaches in that little Hank Strand piece who first allowed NFL Films to tape all their shit because, as Steve Sable said, his parents owned a movie theater and he was interested in film and everything, but it went much deeper than that. His parents owned a film, and as I read about him, Wikipedia and beyond, and because there's a lot about Sid Gilman out there. He would take snippets of newsreels of things that would show NFL plays, and he would study them. And he first instituted breaking down film, taking film, bringing it in. Nobody else is really doing that. And Al Davis just like, when you go in there in Gilman's lab room, it's like a laboratory. It's like scientific, and his attention to detail. And he kind of brought everybody up to speed with him, because if you were facing Gilman, you had to get on his level of how much he was scientific about the game and how he stretched the field, and said he was kind of the first to say, like, running the ball is good and it will do you for certain situations, but you need to be able to stretch the field. And you know,
how far back is this? Like, what?
He was with the Chargers basically through the decade of the 60s with the AFL. He started as a professional coach in '59, I think, and that's who he brought in. He was the first to institute that type of offense, that type of philosophy, that type of passing game, of getting intricate with it and realizing what it can do. And then Al Davis brought it in, and then it got trickled on my wall. So there's some articles. Grantland has actually a really good article about Al Davis's legacy. That the first part of it is about Sid Gilman.
Recent article?
Fairly, but it's all mostly looking back. So it's kind of, it's with, like, I want to say it's no later, they're no earlier than 2009, so it's kind of, looking back at Al Davis' legacy, and then what he learned from Sid Gilman, and then how that passed down to Bill Walsh's time and everything else. But it doesn't just end with Mike Holmgren. It doesn't just end with Bill Walsh. It doesn't just end with
the President of the United States.
Al. It goes, even back to Chargers. Again, it's fun looking at these teams. We're going to really struggle when we play the Jaguars, but when it goes, to Gilman, there's just a lot of meat there, and he's very well respected. And there's a lot of really cool football history, and a lot of stuff out there to read. So post some stuff or whatever, but
sweet.
Gilman,
throw it up on the page.
Yeah,
man.
it's a lot of fun, and just seeing that, connect the dots. And no one person is responsible for anything, but it gives you a lot of insight as to the evolution, and it's pretty cool. I'm done. Sorry.
I know that Ron Wolf was a recent advisor for the San Diego Chargers, and he had a lot of respect for them too, maybe because of all that.
Well, and him and Al Davis, when he was with the Raiders.
Buddies?
Yeah.
Weird.
That's how, Ron Wolf came from Al Davis and the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah, that's how he cut his teeth with them. Yeah.
De veras?
Yeah. And then so Reggie McKenzie going back to Raiders, again, that's what's so fun about it all.
Dude,
it's so fun.
Tom fucking Burns. Fuck you, Vic Ketchman. Look at this guy. And he watches football.
It's fun. But let's talk about it. Let's we can do some groin stretches and talk about it. It's just a lot of fun.
BJ Raji yoga. Y'all.
Can we go? No, I really gotta pee.
We gotta pee. You guys are the bestest Packers fans ever. Keep doing it, man. Lot of love for the Packers fans.
Thank you so much for Packers and for checking this out and for checking everything else out. And there's
we got a hell of a home game here, and then we got a bye. So we may not be doing an episode next week, but
you'll be lurking.
Stay tuned. I'm on Twitter at Polluted Mindset. I really, really wish Tommy were on Twitter, but maybe someday. But we'll keep it. We keep it real on the Facebook page, and OutsideSlant.com brings the best Packers podcast. I listen to other Packers podcasts now, and I'm so fucking bored. That's the one.
Just not as fun.
No, that's the shit. So thank you all for tuning in. We will continue to do everything we can to give you your dual screen experience. Only at OutsideSlant.com. Brought to you by Geico. Brought to you by Mystery Liquid. Come on, make it happen. Whatever, man. We got all the support we need. Thank you all for watching. We have been
Live from Stadium Drive.